Fetch, Hide and Seek, Imposter and Polus. These stories and more are what we're discussing today. Greetings gamers, welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and this is the Top 10 Scary Among Us Creepypastas Part 6. Let's do it. In a 10 snap. It was just a normal space trip, routine operation. We were heading back up to Polus since the research station needed repairs, and on our way there we had some issues with the ship, so we fixed that too. I honestly don't know what did it. Everything was fine until we got off that dropship. Then Blue went absolutely berserk, killing the crewmates left, right, and center like it was possessed. This thing, whatever it was, it couldn't have been human, was running around the station at the speed of light. It would be near the left stabilizer, then boom, next to admin. It would be in oxygen, then all of a sudden behind you, snapping your neck. This was something unlike anything we've seen before. We threw it into lava, but it just crawled out. And an eye in the break. Killing an Among Us isn't that horrifying. It's just a sound and then a body falling on the floor. But that's not what happened in the lobby owned by the user named Death. Death had the maximum of 10 people with 2 imposters, pretty standard. So we played through the game and eventually someone reveals that they're the imposter. They say that they wanted the round to end because they couldn't take the sounds anymore. We were all confused but voted them off anyway. The round ended and I didn't understand what they meant until a couple of rounds later. The imposters kept leaving, so the rounds were fairly quick, but we were always getting new people. But, you know, luck of the draw makes sure that I'm not the imposter. Until now. When I get that message, I'm excited, totally forgetting about what the others have said. I instantly wait for the sweet cooldown, and then once I'm alone, crunch. The sound of the death was distorted. It sounded like a million bones breaking at once. It hurt my ears, and I wasn't even wearing headphones. I turned my volume down and tried again, but it still sounded the same. Same volume, same everything, even though I turned it down. I turned the volume off because, let's be honest, you don't really need it, but nevertheless it still played the same sound, even if the sound was muted. I don't know what the hell was happening here, but I'm never playing with death again. Just a little reminder guys, if you're enjoying the video, please do hit that like button. It really helps us out with the almighty algorithm and lets us know what you want to see more of. And at 8, Fetch. On a long space voyage, they usually don't let you bring pets, since being in space can ruin their bone structure and could kill them. But my dog is different. He's a good boy that I found during our last voyage. He was one of the native species on Polus, a planet formerly known as Omega 78. This little guy is the best, okay? He's the same color as my spacesuit and loves to play fetch. We don't have many things to do on the ship. There was a little emergency before, but I completed all my tasks, so now I just throw a stick for him to pick up and bring back. It's a simple game that my parents used to play with me. Oh, here my little guy comes now. What do you got there, buddy? What is that? Is that a bone? How did you... Oh my god. Orange is dead. And at 7, Hide and Seek. The lights are off. I just finished my tasks. I'm in the admin room. I'm hiding under the table. It shows where people are, but luckily you can't really see it when the lights are off. I hear footsteps and the sound of Red's voice. They're calling out to me, asking me if I'm okay, but I know better. I watch them turn the lights off. They did this. They've been the one killing people. I know better than to fall for these traps, so I keep my mouth shut. But then I hear another voice. It's Blue. They ask Red if they found me, and Red responds with, "Yeah, I'm here." They both enter. Does he have an accomplice? All my questions are answered when I hear a body smash onto the very same table I'm hiding under. It felt like it was going to break. I prepared myself for the worst, but it was silent until the gunshot. It caught me so off guard that I squealed. That's when Red looks down and smiles. Want to play hide and seek? And at 6, Soul Siphon. Everyone has a little bit of soul inside them, no matter how corrupt or cruel they are. These make for excellent, let's say, fuel sources. When extracting the soul from an individual, you must find it deep within them, the place they hold the most near and dear to their heart. Their heart. It's fairly easy to do once they're dead, it just requires some efficient extraction. The easiest way to do this is by cutting the body in half. It's the easiest way to get to the heart. It's attached to the bone, so you need to keep that intact, but other than that it's fairly simple. Once you get the heart, the soul is fairly easy to retrieve, it's at the center, and then you can use that power to do anything you want. Why do you think Mirar keeps sending crewmates to get slaughtered? Halfway through number 5, Imposter. There's something wrong here. Someone is trying to kill us. Why else would they have turned off the oxygen? What if it was just another thing that needed repairs? We've been fixing the ship for half an hour now. That's something a fake would say. Yeah, so what happened to the real Blue, huh? Did you snap his neck? What are you guys talking about? It's me, guys. I don't believe him. Chuck him. No, guys, come on, please. Okay, that's dealt with. What if he wasn't an imposter? What if you're just trying to help him? No, come on, guys, he's already dead. An imposter wouldn't die in space. They could probably breathe, right? It has to be him. No, come on, are you hearing yourselves? Okay, another one down. Let's watch to see if he suffocates, just to make sure we got them all. Okay, he's not breathing, Cyan. What? How? It has to be you. No, you're the one who wanted to kick them out all the time. It has to be you. Come on, man. If I'm going, I'm taking you with me. Ah! Error. Oxygen levels depleting. Power supply failing. Please reconnect wires and reboot oxygen dispersal. And for Polus. Alright, have they made it? Yes, sir, they've landed on Polus. Perfect. Can we have that laser ready? Sir, not that I have any authority, but may I ask why we're doing this? Because, Charles, one of them is an imposter. They made contact with an alien race that is now hell-bent on the destruction of humans. The only way to absolutely neutralize the threat is to eliminate all potentially infected parties. And what if they infected others while back here on HQ? Well, then we'll send more parties until we can be certain the threat is neutralized. Sir, I can't let that happen. Are you saying you want me dead? No, I'm saying that if this is how Mira handles situations, I won't be a part of it. Consider this my 2 weeks notice. Alright, that's about how long the flight takes. Guards? No, you'll regret this. Alright, ready the laser. Minute 3, engine failure. We wake up to the ship shaking. It's shaking violently, not like the normal space shaking you would get, which is already weird enough, but whatever. The other crewmates grab their tools and we run to the navigation room. The ship's autopilot is failing. I balance the steering while green sets the course. While all this is going on, the oxygen then fails. Blue and yellow go to check it out, while cyan says he's going back to bed. Green and I get up to leave and the oxygen still isn't fixed. We run to the oxygen room and see yellow on the floor. We quickly input the code and then check to see if they're okay. They weren't. They were dead. Collapsed on the floor, body torn in half. We don't know what could have done such a thing, but we know that cyan said they wanted to go to bed, and that blue was meant to do the other oxygen. Minute 2, the virus. After getting back from Polus, we are required to do a mandatory 2-week quarantine. This is to prevent any potential alien illnesses, diseases, or viruses from spreading back to the workers in the HQ. But this is probably the most insufferable thing I've ever had to do. They make us quarantine in space, since records show that humans really don't do well in quarantine situations, and since we're dealing with potentially the deadliest diseases unknown to mankind, they need us to follow through. So we rest on the skilled for a couple weeks before going back to HQ, before our final mission to Polus, where we will establish a colony. There's something different about this quarantine though. Someone is actually sick, which is why they're making us do it in space, I'm sure. Red has been coughing up a storm, they've been coughing up blood, they've been bleeding from their nose, and they can hardly speak without needing to cough. It's concerning for the others too, since we don't know if we already have it. And if we do end up getting it, then the quarantine needs to be extended until we're all deemed safe. I just hope that nobody snaps and gets rid of the rest of us to make things go by faster. Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Finally, in number 1, ghosting. I'm not a hacker, I promise, but somehow I can see the ghosts of crewmates after they've been killed by either a cold-blooded murder or ejecting. I don't know why and I don't know how, but it's won me the game around 10 times now. The ghosts always seem to crowd around the imposters, or who they think the imposter is. They think that it'll be interesting because they're the one with all the abilities, and it can make it intense when they walk past someone or head into electrical when the lights are off. And they're typically not wrong. So whenever I see the ghost crowding to a player, I watch that player. The ghosts you can see through walls and in the dark, so you never really lose sight of the imposter. And you can go inside any room they come out of to find the body. And then bada bing, bada boom, you caught the imposter and have a legit case. Instead of the all-time classic, I see dead people, but I still see dead people. There we have it, friends, the top 10 Scary Among Us Creepypastas Part 6. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Showerman Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.
Rolling. Keep it going, keep it going.
Okay.
And the prompter is ready.
How did you... Oh my god. Orange is dead. And they're about to be if they don't stop walking around.
Oi.
I will destroy your bloodline.